Alrighty. The rapture is happening on so-and-so date. You know what that does? All that does is desensitize everybody. All these, what do you call it, predictions of it happening on this date, it happening on that date. All that does is make you look like a bunch of idiots out there. And that has to be from the devil. Walk on. Walk on. So, you know, all this date setting, you know, 2012, Y2K, 2015, you know, if you see a prophetic date, go look and see what's happening in Jerusalem. You know, if we're approaching like the 70th anniversary of the State of Israel on the 14th, when we're supposed to move our embassy. Look, see what's happening over there in the Middle East. Don't worry about over here. And you won't know when the rapture's coming. It may be after the tribulations. It may be mid-tribulation. It doesn't know. You don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, Jesus told you to always be ready. He didn't say, and that's exactly why he said there's not going to be no date. So you can't prepare ahead of time for something like that. So, you know, get over this date setting and be prepared all the time. I mean, that's why, you know, when I did that Doomsday Prepper episode, you know, I said EMP would be my worst case scenario. But, you know, hey, it hasn't happened. Luckily, it hasn't. But, you know, can you see things going on in Syria right now with Trump and Putin that could spiral out of control? It could. And it could happen very fast. So, yeah, I still worry about an EMP. I mean, that's what I consider worst case scenario. Because, you know, all the people are still alive, but all the toys that keep the people fed are dead. So, man is the most dangerous creature on the planet. So, unless there's like a pandemic, which man is dead and the toys stay behind, you know, it's another thing. Anyhow, quit with this date setting. This rapture's not going to happen on any date that you already have. Well, I don't know, it could. Let me put it this way. A broken clock is right twice a day. So, you know, somebody could hit it right, but the chances are they're not going to hit any specific date right. So, more than likely, you're going to see a SHTF long before you see the rapture. So, unless you want your family to go through extremely hard times, you need to be prepared for SHTF. If you live by the coast, you need to be ready for hurricanes. If you live in an earthquake zone, you need to be ready for earthquakes. If you live within sight of a volcano, or especially downwind of a volcano, you may need to be ready, prepared for volcanoes. You know, the hurricanes and volcanoes will definitely include a bug out plan. If you have a family and you plan to bug out, you know, hey, make sure you have a place to go already prepared. And you're going to need at least a trailer to pull behind your car, because if you want to bring anything with you, don't depend on a backpack. I mean, if you're downwind of a volcano and it goes off, you may want to have some stuff already packed up in your, what do you call it, trailer. Get one of those covered trailers like an old U-Haul or something. And you have a place already set up to go to. So, you know, say, okay, let's say, what's the name of that volcano that went off a few years back? Whatever. Any volcano. Let's say, Montezuma volcano, or whatever volcano goes off, and you're downwind of it. The day that it goes off, you should have all your stuff loaded up long before the ash cloud ever gets to you, and you head either south or north or opposite of the prevailing wind to your bug out location. And your location should be somewhere upwind of the volcano. You don't want to be downwind of it, because that's where all the crap's going. So somewhere other than where the wind's blowing from that volcano. That's just an example. So like if you're prepared for a hurricane, you would want to bug out for a hurricane, you need to be inland. You don't need to be moving down in lower altitude. You don't need to be moving to a location below sea level if you know a big storm's coming. You know, I think, what do they call that thing? Oh yeah, I know what they call it. It's called common sense. So folks, use a little common sense and ignore this date setting.